Action 9's Jeff Deal, only on Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Central Florida's local news doesn't stop after 6 p.m.
And neither does constantly tracking and updating your forecast.
On WFTV Tonight, we get you ready now with the information you'll need tomorrow.
WFTV Tonight at 10 on TV 27.
The really good thing about our team is we know exactly what's happening with weather, with traffic.
We need to give you the forecast for the entire day to stay safe and to stay ahead of that storm.
And we plan that alternate route to get you where you need to go on time.
We're here for you to make sure that you're ready to go for the day.
9 investigates, only on Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Coming up tonight on WFTV Tonight, a verdict in the suitcase murder.
George Torres was zipped up in this box.
And
I would like to order extra cheese pizza.
And a victim in Volusia County called 911 to order a pizza in an effort to alert police of a sexual assault. The moment the operator realized what was happening. Plus, 2 Kissimmee police officers have been relieved of duty.
The legitimacy of that police department is in question.
The broader ethics investigation into the department and where we go from here.
This is WFTV Tonight.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of murder in the second degree as charged.
And good evening, I'm Greg Warmoth. Less than an hour ago, a jury, as you just heard, returned a guilty verdict in the Sarah Boone suitcase murder trial. At around 9 this evening, the jury made their way back into the courtroom. And unanimously, they found Sarah Boone guilty of second-degree murder for the death of her boyfriend who suffocated inside of a suitcase back in 2020. We spoke with Boone's attorney as he expressed his disappointment tonight.
Disappointed. Sarah's disappointed. But we feel like she's got a couple of pretty good appellate issues. And just, Sarah's plight's not over. So I'm sure, as y'all know, she's a fighter. I'm sure she'll be filing an appeal.
During the prosecution's closing arguments, attorneys told the jury it's quite possible George Torres himself was a battered spouse. They showed a crucial piece of video where Torres repeatedly calls out. You could hear him calling out Sarah's name and her talking back while he was inside that blue suitcase. In it, you could clearly hear Torres say that he couldn't breathe. Boone then told Torres, "That's on you." State Attorney Andrew Bain also made a few comments tonight in the last hour after that verdict.
We're excited that they were able to bring this home with a victory because today justice was served with the conviction of Sarah Boone.
The judge ordered a pre-sentencing investigation before her sentencing on December 2nd at 1:30 p.m. That's typical protocol. Boone's defense also said that it plans to present some mitigating evidence to the judge that day. In other words, extenuating circumstances as to why this happened. And we'll continue to follow every development in this case. Any new updates, we'll be bringing them to you live on our website, WFTV.com, and right here on TV 27 and Channel 9. Meanwhile, a multi-county car chase ended near an Orange County school this evening. The chaos forced dozens of people to shelter in place as the Florida Highway Patrol arrested multiple people. And Channel 9's Daryl Matthews is at that scene. Daryl, it appears troopers trapped the suspect.
Yeah, Greg, looking right over my shoulder, you can see that they trapped the suspects in this enclosed garage just at the student housing complex not too far. And on this opposite side, parents were out here as well, and they're just now getting the opportunity to go and get their children after they were locked down for nearly 4 hours. Now, this is still an ongoing investigation. We're still working to get more details about the burglary, as well as what led the suspects here to Orange County. We're live in Orange County. Daryl Matthews, WFTV Tonight.
All right, thank you, Daryl. And breaking news out of the Middle East tonight. Israel has launched a ballistic missile attack on Iran in response to that missile assault that happened on October 1st. Iran state media has confirmed that blasts are being felt in the capital of Tehran, but it's unclear just how widespread those blasts are. In Osceola County, we've got new information. It has been released in the case of Madeline Soto tonight. The 13-year-old was killed back in February. The suspect, her mother's boyfriend, Stephen Stearns, was charged with first-degree murder. Tonight, we are hearing for the first time the jail call Stearns made to his parents, his father most specifically, back in May.
Were you expecting these charges? No. The murder charge? Oh, well, sure. We know you're okay, so you got blindsided by that? Yeah. Obviously, it's not true. I never would have wanted her gone for any reason, so, premeditated first degree is kind of a punch. Is there some explanation why you left and went where you went? I was driving around. Okay. Understood you were driving around, but they know where you were driving around, and we know. Okay. I had wanted to grab a few things and get my ducks in a row, kind of prepare myself for whatever was coming.
Hundreds of pages of documents were also released by the state attorney late today. In Volusia County, flooding still impacting communities in the Lake Helen area, and now some residents are taking matters into their own hands after several days with no solutions. Neighbors today began using a donated pump and pooled their money together to pay for pipes to drain the water into another nearby lake. After the widespread flooding in the wake of Hurricane Milton, city officials say they plan to reassess their stormwater plans, but at this time, they say nothing that they can do about it. All right, let's find out about whether or not we're going to see any rain this weekend. Here's certified meteorologist David Heckert in Severe Weather Center 9. David.
Yeah, looking like a pretty nice weekend across the area. In fact, minimal threat for rain, it looks like, Greg, both Saturday and Sunday. And the tropics also nice and quiet. I know there's been a lot of talk the last couple of days, especially on social media. In fact, we got a big cold front here across the North Atlantic, so that's kind of keeping a lid on any activity there. In the Caribbean, a little bit of shower and thunderstorm development. That's not going to develop into much, but then later on in the week, next week, we're going to be keeping an eye in this corridor here. Still seeing some computer model guidance indicating some possible development in the Caribbean. Again, this would be back end of next week. Nothing to worry about over the next 5 to 7 days. Not a bad evening out there at all. In fact, temperatures 60s and 70s to land this cool spot at 67. We're 73 currently here in the city. And tomorrow in Sanford, another great day in store here. The only caveat, a smidge warm. Will be 75 by 10. 2 o'clock temperatures in the low 80s and afternoon highs a little bit above average. We'll make it in the low to mid 80s. I'll be back. We're going to break down temperatures city by city. Also have an update and some new model guidance in on that system in the Caribbean, how it could develop, Greg. That's coming up in about 10 minutes.
David, thank you. We'll see you then. 2 Kissimmee police officers have been relieved of duty. The state attorney's office says that they admitted to lying during a grand jury proceeding. Channel 9 broke the story yesterday about 11 officers and their credibility that is now on the line. This all stems from the case of an officer who is seen on this video kneeing a man in the face. Channel 9 investigative reporter Shannon Butler breaks down what happens here next. Orange County and the city of Orlando have reached an agreement now on the controversial annexations of Sunbridge and Deseret Ranch after weeks of tension. Under the agreement, the city has agreed that Sunbridge will be annexed but will have to follow development plans and conditions of approval previously adopted by Orange County. This deal effectively ends the annexation of 52,000 acres from Deseret Ranch. Also, the county will lease out part of the Orange County Work Release Center on Cayley Street for a homeless shelter to be maintained by both the city and the county. This will go before the county commission next week. Students on our Space Coast are getting firsthand experience in the space industry, and it's all thanks to the launch of a new program at Titusville High School. And we were there for the launch of the Space Mechatronics program today. Students at this school can now get some hands-on experience with space-related technology and engineering.
We have a gap in technicians and hands-on people right now. So this course is going to help fill in some of the gaps.
Students in the program can walk away with certificates that can help them get a job in the space industry. Still ahead, the Volusia County Sheriff's Office says the woman was being sexually assaulted when she made a call to 911 asking to order a cheese pizza. The moment the operator realized what was happening. And an Orlando mail carrier is being accused of tossing more than 1,000 pieces of mail onto the ground, including an election ballot where all of those letters ended up. David.
Beautiful night tonight, Greg, across the area. Very latest on how much longer the nice weather will last. We'll have some new information about the tropics as we head into next week.
Sky Witness 9 on Channel 9 Eyewitness News, bringing you closer to the scene during live breaking news. Sponsored by attorney Dan Newland. Central Florida's chief meteorologist, Tom Terry.
People have really trusted me. for nearly 3 decades, and that's something I take personally.
Tracking storms for 28 years.
I've seen just about everything you can see here weather-wise, so no matter what the weather brings, I vow to get it right.
With a proven legacy built on trust.
It's my job to give you the most accurate details and keep you safe.
Central Florida's Chief Meteorologist Tom Terry, only on Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
An Orlando mail carrier is being accused of tossing more than 1,000 pieces of mail right onto the ground, including an election ballot. These pictures of the scene are included in a criminal complaint against U.S. Postal Service employee Otis McCoy. This is in a cul-de-sac on Lalique Lane, just off East Colonial Drive in Orange County. And you can see all of that mail, which, according to the affidavit, McCoy dumped for some reason in the bushes, and includes 400 pieces of political mailings, one green envelope that does resemble an election ballot that had not been returned. McCoy was arrested after investigators tracked the movements of his mail truck and used this neighborhood surveillance camera to put all of the pieces together. New tonight, an Ocoee woman is behind bars after federal investigators say she used a stolen key to steal mail from several locked boxes. We're talking about one of those universal arrow keys. That's the key carried by all postal workers to open the panel of cluster mailboxes in some communities. It's a universal key. The United States Postal Inspection Service says Jaquisha Durant stole hundreds of letters from mailboxes and in the process found multiple unactivated debit cards. The report says she then activated them, and these photos are of her withdrawing money from an ATM, which was great evidence the police used. Durant now faces multiple federal bank fraud charges. Clear picture. There's now a plan to speed up the voting process in Orange County. We've been seeing long lines at early voting sites across our area. This is video from Sky Witness 9 flying over a long line outside of the Alafaya Library when early voting began Monday. And Channel 9's Sam Martello explains what's being done to try to cut down these wait times. More than 30 million people have voted across the country ahead of Election Day. Nearly 2.8 million are registered to vote here in Florida. The latest numbers from the State Division of Elections show 1.2 million Florida Republicans have voted either in person or by mail. That's about 200,000 more than Democrats. And I vote for weather like today to be repeated both Saturday and Sunday.
I don't think that's controversial.
No, that's part
a lot of people have liked this weather the last couple of days. More nice weather for the weekend, and I know a lot of us can kind of itch and get the boat out maybe, or doing some beaching. I think it's going to be a great weekend to do that as well. Outside right now, great night tonight. Looking over downtown Orlando, just beautiful conditions outside. Temperatures hanging out in the low to mid 70s, 73 currently out at the airport. East-northeasterly wind right now at 8. Sunrise tomorrow morning will be at 7:33. Have seen a couple light rain showers pop up here. An early warning Doppler 9. This is kind of a very, very weak front. It's almost becoming a leftover front here, but a couple downpours there near Kendi Space Center. Should this hold together, this could potentially get to Cape Canaveral, maybe even Cocoa Beach, about an hour or so. I really think it's going to have a tough time, though, clearing US 1. So I'm still going to keep a minimal threat for rain here overnight tonight. About 99.9% of us are going to remain quiet. And you can see our futurecast. We head towards the lunchtime hour. Nice and quiet across the area. Once again, a light northeasterly breeze. So just like today, it's going to be a great weather to head towards the beach. Maybe get your boat out as well along the intracoastal or some of the area lakes as well, say in Lake or sections of Seminole County. You can see here by 6:30, still pretty quiet across the area. No significant threat for rain again. Only caveat, just as we've been saying the last couple of days, it is going to be a little bit on the warm side. Temperatures will make it back tomorrow, low to mid 80s. So Daytona Beach, beautiful day out there. 11 a.m. numbers in the upper 70s. By 1 o'clock, we'll be in the low 80s. We'll be about average, maybe a little bit above average in Volusia County with high temperatures there into the low 80s. Eye in the tropics tonight again. Nothing brewing over the next 7 days. I want to stress that. You may see some scary stuff on your Facebook or Instagram, TikTok feeds. That's nothing of grave concern to us here over the next 7 days. Later on in the week, we're going to be keeping an eye on an area here in the northwestern Caribbean, kind of between Jamaica and Central America. This is kind of a hotbed for activity in late October, early November. Want to show you the updated model comparison that's come in tonight, because the GFS, which is going to pop up here in green, still showing some activity, but it's a little bit further south now. And then notice it moves almost in a northeastward direction, kind of away from the state of Florida. It's not set in stone here. I'm showing you one flavor of one model that just arrived tonight. This is going to change a little bit. But the other thing I really want to stress is notice the European, which would be in purple, still not showing anything really developing with this system. So it's not set in stone we're going to see something. All that being said, I think there's a decent chance something is going to get going. So late next week, possible area to watch in the Caribbean. But I want to stress, you got big weekend plans. Don't worry about this system. We'll keep an eye on it here in Severe Weather Center 9 for you. 7-day forecast, weekend always in view. Wonderful weekend. Plenty of sunshine on Saturday. A little bit more cloud cover on Sunday, but still dry. Highs both days in the mid-80s. We'll see the rain chances pick up, though, starting on Monday. Right now, it looks like the best chance for rain will be on Tuesday, and a 20% rain chance on Halloween with highs on Thursday in the mid-80s. We'll talk more about Halloween coming up in about 20 minutes. Greg?
Okay, thanks, David. Still ahead, the Marion County Sheriff's Office is still looking for the person responsible for killing a 14-year-old boy. Coming up at 10:30, we speak with the teenager's father and why he says gun violence is to blame. And this is already one of the safest ways for your child to get to and from school. What school districts are doing to make buses even safer.
Weather from Severe Weather Center 9 is brought to you by the law offices of Attorney Dan Newland.
This is still one of the safest ways for your child to get to and from school. And Channel 9's Nicole D'Antonio shows us what school districts across the country are doing to make sure school buses are even safer. Coming up, how investigators say a fake pizza order saved a Volusia County woman from an alleged sexual assault. And older Americans are struggling to find a place to rest their heads at night. Just ahead, why so many seniors are homeless and the barriers they face finding affordable places to live. Tonight, Marion County deputies searching for the person who killed a 14-year-old boy. Deputies say someone shot Marshawn Jones in the Marion Oaks subdivision on Wednesday night. Shanila Kabour spoke to his father about a terrible incident, and tonight he says his son is yet another victim of senseless gun violence. Again, Shanila Jones with that report. The Marion County School District says that the boy had just enrolled in the district on Tuesday and would have been an 8th grader at Horizon Academy. Well, a Flagler County man is accused of threatening workers with a machete. Deputies say Miguel Rodriguez threatened a crew doing work near the intersection of Belterre Parkway and Kaywood Place on Wednesday. Things got heated during Rodriguez's arrest when he refused to get off the phone.
Who's this? Who's it?
Don't worry about it.
No, we're conducting an investigation. Absolutely. If it starts interfering with our investigation,
I plead the fifth right now.
You can plead the fifth all you want, but hey, hold on, real quick. Because you're not cooperating, drop the phone.
Investigators say the workers told them Rodriguez got mad with them for temporarily blocking a road. Deputies say one worker ran to a wooded area in fear. Rodriguez has since bonded out of jail. The Volusia County Sheriff's Office says a woman was being sexually assaulted when she made the call to 911 asking to order a cheese pizza. The incident happened in a fernery in Pearson last Saturday. And Channel 9 Volusia County reporter Demi Johnson has the full story tonight. With just 11 days left until the election, the state and 22 election supervisors are now facing a lawsuit that includes supervisors in Marion, Polk, Osceola, and Orange counties, all here in our viewing area. Anti-abortion advocates are demanding to disqualify votes for Amendment 4. That's the abortion measure on your ballot. The lawsuit alleges the group behind the measure did not get enough legitimate signatures, claiming widespread fraud. Investigative reporter Ashlyn Webb spoke one-on-one with the lawyer behind the lawsuits. This weekend, some residents impacted by recent hurricane can visit a FEMA pop-up location to get assistance. The agency set up at the Winter Springs Civic Center today and will resume services tomorrow, bright and early at 9, all the way through Sunday. This will happen. The pop-up centers are helping folks register for disaster aid and also helping them determine which areas need the most help. And if you've already registered online, you can still get help with making minor updates to your application.
As much information as possible is really helpful because especially if you've had damage during multiple storms, we sort of need the dates of what was damaged during Helene versus what was damaged during Milton. So as much proof, pictures, you're going to need that throughout the process. You might not need it during the initial application process.
And for more information about FEMA's pop-up locations, you can visit our website at WFTV.com. And an additional debris drop-off site is open in Volusia County. Residents can head over to Air Park Road in Edgewater to dispose of storm-related debris for free. The site will operate from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Aerial mosquito control treatments will now happen in Volusia County. The county, along with the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, will conduct nightly treatments across the county to manage the increased mosquito population following Hurricane Milton. Operations will begin this coming Sunday. Well, there are many Hurricane Milton victims who still need help tonight, and that's why 9 Family Connection continues its partnership with the American Red Cross. We've both made it easy to donate. You can call or text the numbers on your screen. You can also scan the QR code there as well. More than 130,000 seniors experienced homelessness on a given night last year, according to government data today. And now a new report is shining a light on the barriers for older Americans. And Channel 9's Samantha Manning has the story from Washington, D.C. and the impact on seniors. All right, Sam, it was a sophisticated scam that stole $32,000 right from a couple's bank account.
She went in and set it up, her voice, my name.
Coming up, what crooks already knew that allowed the scheme to work and what you need to be watching out for. David.
Beautiful start to the weekend out there across Central Florida. Very latest what to expect temperature-wise we head into your Saturday. We'll take a close look, too, at the Halloween forecast for trick-or-treating.
A couple of crooks stole $32,000 from a Fidelity account, and all they needed was a 6-digit authentication code. And these poor people are really out big money. Channel 9's Justin Gray explains how those people got that code and how to protect yourself from one of these sophisticated schemes. Fidelity now says the couple's information was not part of that recent hack. That hack exposed the personal information of 77,000 Fidelity customers. It's always a shame you hear these stories. It's heartbreaking, and hopefully, you know, we play them that people can learn from them.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, David is here, and the Magic got a win tonight.
They did, and we got nice weather for that Magic win as well. Looks like it's going to be pretty nice. We head to the upcoming weekend. We'll talk more about the tropics here in just a second. A live look, as Greg was alluding to there, to the Kia Center, downtown Orlando. Looks like the crowds have cleared out. I know Alex will have much more on the Magic home victory coming up in about 10 minutes or so. 73 the current temperature out at the airport. Beautiful night tonight. East-northeasterly wind at around 8 miles an hour. Am tracking just some very light rain showers here, an early warning Doppler 9. This is kind of a leftover cold front that's draped across the Atlantic. You can see, though, as they kind of move on shore here, Merritt Island, Cape Canaveral, or the Kennedy Space Center, they're kind of falling apart. Cannot rule out, as this band works southward, quick rain shower, probably going to be just sprinkles. Cape Canaveral, Cocoa Beach live right along A1A, but I think most of Merritt Island, and then you get west of US 1 here, minimal threat for rain in Brevard County. The rest of us are nice and quiet. Don't worry about any rainfall if you're ready to walk the dog one final time, say in Claremont or Orlando. And tomorrow in Leesburg, more great weather in store. The only thing is, it is going to be a little warm, especially if you got maybe some yard work to get done. Maybe do a little bit earlier in the day. 74 here by 10, 80 degrees by lunchtime. Afternoon highs level off in the mid-80s, a smidge above where we normally are in Lake County, which is around 82. So let's go county by county for highs tomorrow. Beautiful day again right along our coastline. I mentioned this earlier. If you have plans to head towards the beach, you may want to make plans to head towards the beach. It's going to be a beautiful day right along our coastline. 81 at Cocoa Beach, 82 tomorrow in Edgewater. Metro Orlando also looking pretty good, just a little bit on the warm side. I think it's going to be a great Saturday to help maybe the attractions down towards the celebration area. They'll see a high temperature of 86, 85 downtown Orlando, 85 in Longwood. And out towards the west and inland areas, temperatures here back into the mid-80s, 86 in the Villages, 85 in Claremont, 85 the forecasted high in Polk City. Big game tomorrow out at UCF. They'll be taking on BYU. Kickoff temperatures in the mid-80s. Overall, though, another very nice Saturday for football. No threat for rain with temperatures by 5:30 down into the low 80s. In the tropics tonight, still nothing going on out there, so don't really fret if you have any concerns in the tropics. You may see something kind of not so nice on your social media page talking about something threatening Florida. That is simply not true. There's nothing going on in the Gulf, and the Caribbean just got some loosely organized thunderstorms. Next week, though, we may see some activity kind of bubble up here in sections of the Northwestern Caribbean. That's not a guarantee, and that wouldn't be until the back end of next week. So we'd have some time to kind of watch how this could potentially develop. Back here at home, Halloween looking pretty good. 20% rain chance here as we head through the evening hours, but overall temperatures not too bad, sliding back into the low 70s. 7-day forecast weekend always in view. Temperatures hanging out in the mid-80s Saturday, Sunday. Rain chances do get a little bit more elevated heading into next week. Right now, the highest rain chance looks to be on Tuesday. Another weather check coming up in about 10. Alex.
Nice pink. Got the memo. Straight ahead in sports, the Orlando Magic hosting Brooklyn in tonight's home opener. They hammered the Heat Wednesday. Could they do the same against the Nets tonight? Find out when we come back.
Download the WFTV weather app. Get a localized forecast from Tom Terry. Just search WFTV. Brought to you by the law offices of attorney Dan Newland.
Involved in a car accident? Call me now, 407-888-8000.
For the first time since that Game 6 win over Cleveland in early May, Orlando Magic basketball is back at the Kia Center. Tonight, in front of a juiced-up crowd, the 1-0 Magic hosting the Brooklyn Nets. We've got homecoming weekend. The Masters Academy, the 7-1 Eagles hosting Duval Charter tonight. Up 13-0, that offense keeps their foot on the gas. Jackson Stecker, the freshman quarterback, drops in a dime to Devon Washington. That moves the chains. Later that drive, you have to watch this. Stecker's rolling, and watch what happens next. Evan Slockett catches a touchdown between his ankles. It's worth a second look. We're going to slow it down for you. This is incredible concentration. May have hit the ground, but hey, that's pretty impressive. 20-0, they got a touchdown, Masters Academy. The Eagles defense flying high as well. That's senior linebacker Evan Meyer. Big-time sack. They forced Duval Charter into a 3rd and 35. And after the punt, there's Washington. Great return. Nearly scores down at the 1. His QB Stecker is going to take care of his guys. Fires a touchdown pass to number 3. Washington crosses the plane. We don't know the final, but the Masters Academy won big in this one, 8. They're now 8-1. Playoffs next. All right, let's head to University High School in East Orange County. Annual rivalry game against Colonial, known as the Boot Game. First quarter, Cougars up 7-0. Colonial strikes back. Sean Elliott to Amari Jackson down the middle, slips one, and turns on the afterburners. 90-yard touchdown. Pulls Colonial to within a point at 7-6. University's turn now. They want to wear that boot. Eric Rios to Elijah Alcaro on the wide receiver screen. Watch Elijah's determination for the end zone. He's got it. 42 yards. University out in front, 14-6. This game right now tied at 22 late in the fourth quarter. Man, the weather tonight. It felt so nice.
Yeah.
Great football weather, man.
Yeah, and the first part of the season usually is rainy and hot, and now we get into the perfect weather, and season's almost over.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's kind of how it works out there. Not too bad at all for tomorrow. Temperatures leveling off into the low 80s, and we'll be talking about high temperatures across the region in the mid 80s. Another check of the weather coming up at 11 over on Channel 9.
That's a good looking forecast, and we'll see football Friday night on 9, right?
11:35.
We'll look forward to that. All right, tune over right now to Channel 9. We'll see you over there.
Weather from Severe Weather Center 9 is sponsored by your local Toyota dealers.
I'm pro-choice, and I